and other combustion. The combustion engine is not unique to the United States.
Get a meal that's very calorically dense and yet low in nutritional value. And I can
That's
do it
correct.
cheaply and in like 5 minutes. We fix this via education. I don't know, eat a diet that consists of more whole foods,
Wrong.
for example. Okay.
He's taken the libertarian route, which is really weird. I
don't know what's wrong about that. I agree completely. I think that's why there's certain group with a certain type of skin color that might match mine. Why I think that's the biggest reason why they're struggling I think it's an education thing in part.
Oh, these liberals are so anti-right that they'll even become libertarians to argue with the right. I reject the free market solution to all of these things. I drive to every diner.
That's a tough comment to hear from Tim. How many times do I start a reaction to Tim? How many times lately am I starting a reaction to Tim? And we're not even talking about the country or anything right now, that country. So how many times have I started a reaction to Tim and then I'm like, what is your take, bruh? I don't know. Am I changing or what's going on? I don't understand I think Tim's changing.
Calorically dense and yet
Tim is saying I'm against the free market solution? What?
low in nutritional value. And I can
That's
do it
correct.
cheaply and in like 5 minutes. We fix this via education.
And you can say what you want about Chris and Harry. They're in shape.
I don't know, eat a diet that consists of more whole foods,
Wrong.
for example. Okay.
What's wrong with that, Tim? I don't know what. Are you going to just you're not going to do the thing where we just disagree with Chris and Harry Sisson because they're soy boys or whatever. They can be right and be soy.
He's taken the libertarian route, which is really weird. These liberals are so anti-right that they'll even become libertarians to argue with the right.
Wait, what? What does that take, Tim? The take is that you're mad that he has a libertarian position? That's cringe, bro. There's no two ways about that. I don't know what this is.
This is aware, but impoverished countries have cars too, somewhere. And every single diner uses aerosol spray.
So he's going to go on and argue against the libertarian position, against the free market position.
That they'll even become libertarians to argue with the right. I reject the free market solution to all of these things. I drive to...
That's a clip, man. I reject the free market solution. Now I understand, like I like young Nick, and young Nick, he does, because he doesn't think, and these are like things I would disagree with young Nick on. He believes that, and Cassandra McDonald as well, there's so much against trees, people smoke trees, that they would want even the trees to be illegal. And I'm like, no, I don't really need another man telling me whether I can smoke something or not. That's not a good take. I understand where you are. I'm not against you guys, but on that take, we don't agree. There's not going to be another grown man to tell me what I can smoke or not. But that's where we are now. I mean, especially if it's a natural tree that exists in the world. Like, what are you talking about? But I thought Tim had more of a libertarian position. Nick is openly authoritarian.
Every diner. On the weekends, Allison and I'd be like, well, we'll get breakfast somewhere. And
so I need Tim. See, that's why I respect Nick is like, I'm authoritarian, period. And it's weird because he's not really authoritarian, because I still think he's kind of constitutional in a way. But at least he says, like, hey, I'm for authority. Homie Iggy Ignoramus says, I'm one a king. I'm for authority. But because they're real people with real takes. Would Tim admit that this is just basically an appeal to authority? This is not what I expected to hear from him. Every
single diner uses aerosol spray on their grill for cooking food. I don't want to eat that. So we're like, I don't know if I want to do that anymore. There's only one restaurant around here, Martinsburg Family Diner, that has real butter. When you order food, they bring you out a little thing that says it's actual butter. Every other diner we go to, even the smaller ones, we try to go to the expensive ones, they'll give you packets of butter spread. Like, what is butter spread? Hydrogenated linseed oil or some other garbage nonsense. Nobody cares. And if I don't know the degree to which this stuff is causing poison or whatever the point is.
Well, it's part of the high trust aspect that we have.
Right.
And so you think You think that everything you're getting off of the shelf has already been vetted. It's already known to not be poisonous. Nobody would give you things which are poisonous to eat. That's insane, right? Of course, our government's looking out for us, and of course, the opposite is true. And so you're absolutely right. You can't use a libertarian free market approach to this. You need an authoritarian approach, and you actually have to say, no, I'm sorry, you can't sell actual poison. You can't do that.
So funny story with the recent push from these psychopath leftists for Aqua Tofana. Did you see this?
Mm-hmm.
Aqua Tofana was being pushed by these leftist women. I'm not going to get into too much detail other than it's a poison. These women are psychotic.
Oh, the drug thing?
The way it worked is the first dose.
Other women.
This take, before they move on, this take is bad, man. This is a really, really bad take. The cause, so he talked about going to the diners, around where he is, and he talked about getting fake butter. But the problem is, Tim, why are the diners using fake butter? So you need to think through this logically. What is the problem you're trying to solve? The problem you're trying to solve is everywhere I go, I think if you break the problem down, it's even more fundamentally that every place is using the same thing, no matter what that thing is. To me, that might be the fundamental problem. But let's say you say that the fake butter is the problem. Why is the fake butter a problem? Because the federal farms are subsidized on corn and soybeans. So it makes it cheaper than doing dairy. The government is causing the problem, Tim. Andrew, I'm going against Andrew on this one too. You see why I always said like Dave is a little bit above Andrew, but then the religion, I think they're just, I hate to be putting them equal, but Dave is so much better with liberty and Andrew is so much better with faith that it's almost like they're equal to me because they're bad on certain things and bad. And I don't want to say Dave's bad, but do you see the problem here? I just want to make sure. Let me bring in something to kind of fact check this. So ChatGPT, the problem that Tim Pool and Andrew Wilson are trying to solve is why are they seeing fake butter being used everywhere? And their answer is the only way to solve it is through authoritarian measures. Basically, not real authoritarian, but the government demanding something to break that up. And they actually, literally, Tim said he was against the free market. There was no free market solution to this. So I think that's what I want to attack. My take is government subsidies have made alternatives to dairy cheaper, and that's why you're seeing it. So the authoritarian aspect of it has already happened, and that's the problem. What do you think?
Your take makes sense. Government subsidies can indeed distort the market, making certain alternatives
Search up
cheaper.
and make sure that I'm right, though, on the government subsidies on whatever soy or corn. I don't know what the fake butter is made out of.
You are correct. Government subsidies for crops like corn and soybeans have made ingredients like soybean oil and corn syrup more affordable, contributing to their prevalence in butter substitutes. This does suggest that market distortions due to subsidies play a role in why these alternatives are widely used.
Yeah, and there's nothing else that really needs to be said. It's a cringe take. I think it is an example of kind of like Harry Sisson is on, and Tim's not. So Tim does that when someone's not there in person. Tim does that a lot. He did do that with Brad Palumbo too, though, I think. But I actually agreed with Tim with the Brad Palumbo stuff. But yeah, I think he was just trying to go against Harry Sisson and failed. He just fell flat on his face, just to be honest with you.